just on my way to CHUB River Waveney. Just jumped over the bridge at the top there, they've got it sectioned off. This is my bridge for today, a log across the river. Best time for chub fishing. Do I jump? Do I? No. We've done it. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one here. Now I've got to climb this one as well. Right, I'll see you people in a bit. I'm now going to head up to the weir. Yes, we're in. It's not a massive chub, but it's a good start. Pretty one of about two and a quarter. So we'll put him back and move on to the next swim. Well, I've just got into my second swim, literally just cast out, and that last swim literally just turned the GoPro on, cast out and bang straight away. Probably pre-baited for about a quarter of an hour with 3 or 4 lumps of cheese paste. So I'm now in my second swim, and I want to really try and show you the way I approach the river today by moving through different swims, baiting them, dropping back. I'm going to try and go through rigs and tackle as well. Very basic approach. Yeah, I mean, again, yes, must look like a better fish. That's unreal, unreal. Glimpse of that fish as it turned, as I struck, and it looked like a bit bigger than, that's not bad, probably about £3. We'll certainly catch bigger chub than this. Stay there, you. 2 swims. That was literally, I don't know, 20-30 seconds and I'm into a fish. Same as the first swim. And that's the beauty of pre-baiting. And I think as well, this stretch in all fairness hasn't been fished that much, so I could be ending up with a good day's fishing today. Well, let's put that one back. Let me just show you quickly. Real nice bronze one, this one. The old Chevian. Beautiful, they are my favourite fish, stunning fish. Right, you've just seen that second chub. I've had probably less than a minute's worth of fishing. Well, I've actually been in the water and I've caught 2 chub already, and I think it's going to be one of them days where I do catch a few, hopefully. I thought this morning maybe 5 or 6 would have been a good day, and we'll see how we get on. So I've just gone down, baited up some more swims. I just want to take a couple of minutes to show you basically the way I'm fishing it, my rod, my rig, and so let's go through that quickly. And very simple. I've got a 12-foot power feeder. I prefer 12-foot, you might prefer a 10-foot, it's entirely up to you. I just feel with a longer rod, I've got that bit more control, especially when you're fishing banks like here where they steep down and you've got to get to the water, and you've still got quite a lot of foliage in the water that you've got to get over, and that seems to help me out. Sort of decent sized reel, loaded with 6-pound mainline, and then this is the important part. If I can show you this, very, very simple. You can all see what sort of rig this is. It's a very, very basic paternoster rig. I've got 6 pound 4.0 carbon here. It was fishing hard and it's very, very clear. I can extend this hook length, make it a bit longer, perhaps go up to 2.5 foot, and that's fine for today. I've got 2 swan shots, and underneath there you'll see there's a quick change link. And basically that's my standard setup for most types of swims today. I might take one shot off, I might free line, so I'll take both of them, just literally just fish the cheese paste round me hair. But I think probably 1 or 2 swan shots will suit most of these swims today. If I do take the swan shots off, I've got the quick change link that I showed you, and I can clip on an ounce lead, and that's going to be more for upstream fishing rather than downstream fishing. Perhaps it's hard to say. Well, there's an example there, look, just out, if you can see into the water there, you've got the flow's going this way, you've got a tree hanging over, and you've got a raft. Now, you probably wouldn't be able to get to it from the other side, so I'd fish from this side and try and lower a lead in there. If I was to use a swan shot, that'd probably wash down the swim a little bit and be away from where the chub are sitting, where if an ounce lead, you can sort of sometimes lean in and get it into a little gap and just hold where they are. So I don't use it very often because there's not many swims really along here where you can fish from an upstream position, but if I can find one, I'll try and show you. Might be in the winter when it's, say we're in the October now, but in the sort of winter when it's pushing through a little bit, it might be one of the swims that I fish to the far side and I might need to use an ounce lead just to hold. And when I'm doing that sort of fishing to the far side with a little bit of flow, I'll always fish with my rod tip quite high, probably something like that. And quite often you're looking at the tip into the sky, which is quite nice. And what that does, it keeps all the line off the water, and I tend to fish upstream a little bit when I'm fishing like that. Can always sort of, if I was to fish downstream, I'd probably want like 1.5 ounce, 2 ounce lead to hold. But if I'm fishing upstream, you can always hold with a much lighter lead, and the lighter lead that you use, the better. So, I mean, most of my fishing, I'll be fishing with the rods like that sort of angle, quite low. Especially when I'm fishing a lot of these swims, you'll see further up, I'm fishing right down the edge, and well, the next one's like that. So what I'll try and get you a shot now of, perhaps I'll go in there with the old head attachment with a GoPro, and I'll try and get you a clip straight away, me walking in there, putting my bait in and see if I can get one straight away. And it's literally this whole neck spinny. A lot of the swims are like that. They're sort of what I call inside margin swims. All the foliage is hanging over, and there's old reeds and rushes, and quite a high bank, and the chub do like to sit along that edge, and that's where the flow goes as well. Some nice crease swims, which I'll be talking about as well. And right, I'm now going to head down there because I'm gagging to catch more. See you in a bit. Now headed off into my third swim. If you look down there, you can probably just see, well, that's the swim I've just caught that second chub out of. It's very clear still. It looked like there was a bit more of a tinge in the water yesterday when I looked, and this morning, but it's probably just getting light, and it does seem certain. I think there is a bit of a tinge in some of the deeper runs, but where it's sort of shallow, it's still very clear. So it's only the end of October, and the good chub fishing hasn't started yet. Not when they get fat and they've had a good feed up. You're talking around Christmas is my favourite time. Might try and do a Christmas special or something. Right, we're now actually coming into the next swim. Oh no, it's a little bit further down. This swim's been here a couple of years. It just juts out a little bit from the bank, and you've got this little area that anglers have padded down over the years, and it's still here. Sometimes you get a big flood and they get washed away. Sort of the mud underneath breaks away, and look at that, look. Right. Got to try and keep down now. I'm fishing quite a way. I will be fishing quite a way down the stream, down the river there. This backrest, very important part of your kit. Just keeps all your line off your reel line off the stingers and that. That's it. If the fish were really cagey, then I'd probably mask some of that cheese paste around the shank a bit more, but seems like they're having it today, so this is just a little plop, little tiny plop this is, ready? Plop! That basically is, that's like a little dinner bell to them. I think it's like almost if something's fallen off one of the bushes here, like a slug or something, and they're always used to things dropping in chub. Right, just tightening up. Something else I do this time of year is I fish very slack lines. Once I've just dropped in like that, at the moment the riverbed's still got quite a bit of weed on it, and last thing I want to do is just pull back and bury the hook. So once that's in, I don't sort of tend to pull the line at all, just not even tighten up, just always keep the line slightly slack. That last swim you see me, I never caught a fish out of. I think I gave it 13 minutes in the end and moved out of there. And I come along, baited this one up. This is sort of the last one I'm going to fish in this spin. I'm only actually fishing 2 in here today. There's a reason for that. As I left the other swim, the third swim, I've come down here. I've then gone up to the next section, which is where the bridge is, and there's just no water in here at all. It's very clear, and wasn't quite what I was expecting. I seemed to think that yesterday when I looked, it seemed to be carrying a little bit more colour, but and a little bit higher. So I think I could be scratching around a little bit now. Obviously, prime time was first light, just as dawn's breaking. Obviously that weir swim, that's a very deep run over the back there. You've got sort of 4 foot of water, so that was always going to be a good banker to start on. Then I moved into that second one with that raft swim. You got a raft swim like that, you're always going to expect to get a bite out of there, especially that time of morning. I'm going to try and show you in a minute the next swim's down there and why it's so dodgy today, really, sort of proper sketchy really. I don't really think I'm going to catch much in that next section. There's another raft swim I've just baited, and then also baited a second one in a little tight hole which we could catch out of, but we're going to have to be ever so quiet, and I'm literally on top of the fish. And then I've baited a third one up there as well, which is an old swim of mine, an old favourite, but as I threw the cheese paste out, I see it sitting on the bottom. So when I go back there, if it's still sitting on the bottom, then it won't be worth casting out, because we know the fish haven't eaten it. So yeah, it's all good though. I'm enjoying it. I'm out, I'm having fun, and it's just nice. I'm say first time chub fishing since last year, so yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Now I've really got one cast here. I've got to try and get this right on the edge of that raft, or that scum. Perfect. There's no flow to push it under. the swim that I see a few chub in about half an hour ago. Probably more like 45 minutes now, and just dropped in here. As I came along, I see a couple of free fish just backing up, back downstream. Yes! Oh! No! No! Oh. What's going on? What's going on? Right, I'll give it another 5 minutes. It's been fishing hard today, and I'm not giving up. I'm going to pop down to the next spinny of trees, fair walk down, and see what I can do down there. There's 3 swims down there that I'm going to bait, and if they're like they were last year, and have a bite to eat. Give it 10-15 minutes. I'm going to rebait these 2 that I'm just fished. I missed that bite in that one, and I've seen fish in these 2 swims. I just can't get a bite. It's fishing hard. It's fishing hard, but I'm enjoying it. It's good fun. I haven't seen a soul all day. It's nice and mild. Got my boom brace on for the first time this year. That's more because I've been kneeling around a little on the grass here and there, and jumping over fences and under fences and stuff, and got my little pockets for my little lead weights. And remember chub fishing when I was younger. That's what I grew up doing. I was probably 8-9 years old when I started, and a place called the River Gade, that was in Casbury Park near Watford. I fished that from about 8 or 9 right up till about 15, 16. Then I got into sort of match fishing then, but yeah, spent a good 5 or 6 years chub fishing down there. It's where I caught my first 5 as well. The average size used to be around a £3. You'd catch a 4 now and again. There weren't too many 4s around, especially in the early days, and then as I got to sort of 14, 15, there was more 4s around. I was lucky enough to catch my first 5. That was a fish of £5.3, and good amounts of chub though. First day of the season was often a bag of around £70 to £100. There was an island there. It used to run around the back of the canal, and basically where the canal was, the river came off and over a weir, and that created the River Gade. That was the start of it, and it run about 2 mile all through Casbury Park, and then come back out on the... Yes, we're in! Yes! Awesome! Awesome! Just show you him, another nice chub, £2.5. Pleased with that. On a hard day, I'm having to really scratch around to get what I can, and so that's fish number 3. If I can get one more today, going with 4 on a hard day, bearing in mind they're not big fish at all by any means, but I'm going to be happy with that. I just see me get that fish, and just before that you see me miss that bite. I'm back in that swim again now, but I'm just going to throw some baits in, rebait that other one as well before I head down to the other spinny, and on the way back up I'm going to drop bait in and give these another go. So just going to throw a few baits in, different little bits of cheese paste, different shapes, and try not to throw them all in the same place, because you want the fish to be moving around, working, hunting for them, and that'll do for now. As you can see, I'll show you how far I am down now. probably see in the distance up there. Yeah, you can just see it. You've got the green bridge. So I'm right down the bottom of Hersham now, and I think I fished about 6-7 swims down that whole end from that bridge that way, and only had them 2 fish. Missed 1 bite and a couple of little knocks, but there's not many swims I can go at really, in all fairness. It's not, you know, fishing well at all, and conditions are quite low, so I'm going to have to just work even harder really. So I decided to come down this end and fish right down here, which I don't usually often do because I've usually got enough to go at down there, but it's only about 10, so I'm going to try and do another hour now. But I'm now going to head back down and bake some swims up, get something to eat, give it a quarter of an hour, and see if I catch another one. One more, going with 4, I'll be happy with that on a hard day, and it is what it is. I mean, usually down here, and especially in the winter, you can come, you know, go home with 5 or 6 fish, all over £4 and maybe a 5, you know, so you can see what you're up against at the moment, and it's sort of end of October conditions, and well, I'm now going to do the walk, see you in a bit. Right, I've just moved up to this next area I said to you about, the spinnier trees, and there's only really one swim worth going at, and it's this one here, and it's like along the margins. Baited it about a quarter of an hour ago. I've just dropped in there now, and just had a bite to eat. Have a little bit of time down here, and then we'll head back up to those 2 swims where I missed the bite and had that last fish, and that took about, I say, about 13 minutes to get that bite, so I think I'm going to miss that one out and jump in the next one where I missed that other bite and sit on that for a little while. If I don't catch out that one and maybe try the other one, I'll move back up to the top, up by that green bridge. There's a couple of swims I baited up there when I left earlier, and that's something I always try and do as well. If I fish the swim, if there's a chance I might fish it again later, I'll rebait it and then move on, give myself options for later on, you know. I didn't bother up the other end up by the weir because I knew I wouldn't be fishing up there again. I usually start at one end and just work my way all the way through. And yeah, Casbury Park, I was talking about that when I had my first fight out there, £5 free. And yeah, you had the river that come off the weir that was feeding off of the canal, the River Gade, and that used to come down, and then it split and you had an island, and you could fish either side of it or get onto the island like we used to do. There was another little weir that was further down, which sort of went from one side to the island, and we used to, it was quite slippery on top, but we used to walk across the top. You had about that much water on there, and that's what we used to do as kids, get on the island, have a bit of fun on there, and you could probably catch, I don't know, 5 or 6 chub off the island there over an hour or a couple of hours, anything from that sort of size, £1.50 up to sort of £3. A £4 was a good fish in them days, especially in the early days when I was like 8, 9, 10, and so I had that 1.5. As I got a little bit older, lunch and meat was the bait we used to use, you know, the night before on a Friday night, and again on Saturday night. I was always down there all Saturday and Sunday. Spent the whole 6 weeks, summer holidays down there. I had a paper round, used to chuck all my nets in my paper round bag, and rod strapped to my bike, my BMX, my mongoose, and off I used to go. Take a bit of grub, raid the cupboards, get out for first light, and come home when it was dark, and that's what we did. And yeah, good old days. Yeah, you should get a couple of tins of lunch and meat, and you just cut them into cubes, and then over a period of time we've got a bit more advanced. Rather than just cubing it all the time, we used to tear them all up into different shaped pieces, and then flavour it up with things like paprika was always a good one, then freeze it a few days before, then like Friday night before you're going off fishing in the morning, like Saturday morning, you take the bag out, and that'd be all ready for you in the morning, and off you went. Thousands of chub I caught off there, thousands, and just as I'm doing now, it's something I'll always do. I think it's one of my favourite types of fishing. Yeah, today's not been great, and that's been relaxing though. Worked hard, moved around a lot, stress free, not seen a soul all day, and yeah, it's been quite nice. Moved up here now to those 2 swims I was in earlier, where I missed the bite in this swim, and the one next door I had the other chub, and didn't get nothing down at that spinny. I've chosen to come into the swim that I missed the bite in, which I'm in now, rather than the other one. Just felt that just missing the bite wouldn't have spooked them as much as what catching that chub has done in that other swim. Very clear, very shallow, and they're not having it as it is. So as soon as you hook a fish, they're spooked, they're gone. It'd be in the winter time when it's colour in the water, they'll probably come back a lot quicker. But so I'm gonna have probably 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, sit a bit longer now. That's what I'm starting to do now. Day's gone on a little bit. That's how we really sort of fish, really. Early in the morning you can bounce through them really quickly, literally 2 minutes, 3 minutes of swimming. As the sun comes out and it gets harder, you do have to give them a little bit longer. Just going to tell you about me chub session I had 2 seasons ago, first day of the season. And I've been down in the close season, May time, end of May, early June, and the river was absolutely stagnant. There was no flow in it whatsoever. It's quite a warm spell we was having, and gone along there, just did a little recce like you do, and there must have been 30-40 chub, all decent chub as well, swimming up in the weir pool all together. So I climbed over the back of the weir pool there. Oh no, I didn't. I climbed over a tree that was fallen down there, got through that way and got onto that far side, and I watched them there, just cruising around. Lovely to see. And decided to watch her a little bit. So went back there a week later, they were still there. And thought, that's it. June the 16th when that come round, you know where I'm going. And that was it, I went straight in there. What I did was I had went to work that day, well, 15th, and is it the 15th? It starts on the 16th? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, it was the 15th, went to work, and all my gear was ready to go. Took me brolly with me as well, and chair, took chest waders, took everything I needed to catch these fish. And I had 2 plans of attack. First one was my cheese paste. As soon as midnight came round, bang, might have been a little bit before that actually, but yeah, straight out, and got down there about 5 o'clock, and threw a few bits of cheese paste in, and they're actually taking it off the surface as it was landing, and that's how it was. And I knew as soon as it got dark I was going to catch. Anyway, I cast out, and literally, I hadn't even tightened up my line. I used to fish with my rod quite high in the weir pool there, could keep the line off the water, but so I kept the rod high, I hadn't even sort of set the reel, and the line was still slack, and it just ripped. Fish didn't even know it had been hooked, it was that easy. And I went on to catch 11 chub that night out of that swim. I did get a couple further down as well, but I didn't go moving around too much. I wanted to just stay in the weir pool. I knew there was a amount of fish in there. I knew it was going to be hard for them to leave the weir pool and go downstream. There was no water flowing at all. You had literally that much water, and I couldn't see them doing that, so they were just going to get more cagey, and that's what they did. And I think it got to about 4 in the morning. It had got light, and I decided to have a little kip, like 2 hours kip. I thought I'd do it well to good, threw some bait and rested it for 2 hours, and got up and cast out, bang, straight away, and another one, and that was it. Died, absolutely died. That was the final surge, that was it. No more were going to come. There's a little tap there, go on, go around, and yes, we're in. Awesome. Hey, fish number 4. Made the right choice there. Come to daddy. Yes. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Basically, let me get this fish back, and that's a slightly better one. Just hold this one up for you. If you keep still. Look at that. Chub-tastic. So, hasn't gone mad today, but I was hoping for another one, and there it is. Made a good decision there. I was going to go in that next swim because I've caught that one. A lot of people do that and think, well, I've caught a fish in that swim, I might as well go back in there, and it's not always the right thing to do. Better off going one where you've missed a bite, you know the fish are there and you haven't really spooked them properly, so good angling in my book, that is. Right, let's get him back. Yeah, just quickly tell you about the rest of that session. So yeah, I had them next two, and that sort of that killed it. That was the final surge that died, and that was like, what do I do now? Well, I had my backup plan. I took a gallon of maggots with me, a gallon of bronze, and took my chest waders, and took my waggler rod, and some small little crystal clear wagglers. Something I did a lot of as well on the canals. Grew up doing that. It's a great way of fishing. So took my bank sticks, waded out in the water. It's only up to about here, and had my rod rest laid there, and I was catapulting maggots all the time. It was about a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes. I see the first one come up to the surface. I hadn't even cast out yet, and I was fishing about that deep, very shallow, literally feed, cast, feed, and because the way the rods were positioned on the rod rest like that, they were clutch set a little bit, but basically, if I didn't strike in time, they were just ripping it around anyway. Yeah, I caught 19 altogether, and had my best 2 chub fishing like that as well, and it's, I don't know, it's one of them things. How'd you work it out? Well, I had a 5.7 and then I had a 5.13, which is definitely a £6 plus chub. It might be one of the ones that I caught that following year, last year, or one of my mate caught as well. I caught one at 6.1 and he caught one at 6.1. No, bang on 6s was, and he had another one actually, 6.2, didn't he? Yeah. So it possibly could be one of them free fish, but whatever. But how can you catch all them fish on cheese paste at night time through dark, and not catch one of them fish that were there anyway in that pool? And I've been watching that pool for a little while on and off, and there was 2 big fish in there that stood out from the others, same size. So it just shows you that there was a lot of fish on that pool, and that's what I did. And I took 19 fish. I think I had about 80 pounds or something I worked out, and yeah, but the maggots and fishing the wag like that was definitely the way to do it, and that paid off. And that worked today if you was prepared to spend that amount of money and do that. But then you need them shoaled up like I had them, and it was just one of them days where they all shoaled up there, so it is what it is. But it's been good fun today. I caught me 4 fish. I think I'm now going to pack up. It's a good way to end, really. I was going to, don't know if you lot fish down at Ursham, but there's the Green Bridge, and you've got that little stream coming off of there. I don't know if you ever fished that, but that's well worth fishing. More in the winter when the river floods quite a lot. That carries quite a bit of water through that stream, and you can do all right through there. I've had a couple of 5s off there as well. There's a corner swim up there where you've got the raft of the main river, and then the stream goes up, so that's something worth bearing in mind. And thanks for watching, and follow me on YouTube. Hopefully I'll do another chubbing vlog soon. Might do a Christmas special, that'd be good. And probably try and do it down here, so you've got an idea of the change from summer to winter, and probably be fishing the same sort of swims again. There's a few more that I will be going having a fish at, so I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.